Well, you've made it this far. It's time for your certification exam review for Microsoft PowerPoint. So here we go. All right. Let me go ahead and turn this off for a minute. In Teams, you guys will see that I've attached several documents here. The first one that you're going to want to open up is PowerPoint 2016 Practice Presentation. Go ahead and click on that and open it up. When you do open that up, please make sure you go ahead and download it from Office 365. All right, so go ahead and go to File, go to Download As, and go to Download a Copy. All right, and please go ahead and put it in your Microsoft Cloud account. All right, and when you do, you're going to notice that your presentation looks kind of like this. All right, there are currently 19 slides in the presentation, and if you kind of scroll through it a little bit, it's all about Microsoft certifications. All right, so this is kind of what we're going for right now as Microsoft Office Specialist, and in order to get Specialist, you have to pass 3 of these programs. So we're gonna this year we're gonna test for PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. All right. Your list of questions are also in Teams, and when you open those up, this is kind of what it looks like. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of get started here. It's a long list of questions, and I don't want this to be a super long video. All right, so the first thing it says is edit the title and content layout by adding a content placeholder and aligning it with the title placeholder. Rename the layout Contoso. All right, so in order to get to Slide Masters, we're going to go to the View tab, and we're going to click on Slide Master. Start hovering over your Slide Master views. This is actually your Slide Master, so whatever we do here is going to affect everything, but we don't want that one. We want the title and content Slide Master. So whatever we do here, and if you notice when I hover over it, it says title and content layout. Whatever we do to this slide is only going to affect the slides in our presentation that are using the layout title and content, which are slides 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So most of our presentation. It says it wants us to insert a content placeholder, and it wants us to line that content placeholder up with the title box. So go ahead and click and drag to draw your content placeholder, and then grab the edges and go ahead and drag it out until you see the red bar that aligns to the title placeholder. It says it also wants us to rename, so I'm going to right click on this title and content placeholder, and I'm going to rename it Contoso. And I'm going to go ahead and hit rename, and then the most important thing with Slide Masters is close your master view when you are done. All right? Now, question number 2 says hide all the comments in the presentation. Under the Review tab, you're going to see that we do have a group for just comments, and there's nothing in here that says hide comments, but if you click the arrow below show comments, you're going to see something on that says show markup. All right, if it's not on, go ahead and check it. And in order to hide all the comments in the presentation, which I'm not exactly sure how many there are, we can kind of use this to find out how many there are. There's one right there. So in order to hide this, we're going to go ahead and uncheck show markup. All right, and that hides all the comments in the presentation. If it was turned off on your presentation, just go ahead and turn it on and kind of play with that so you know how to hide the comments in the presentation. All right, number 3 says add a curtain transition between slides 1 and 2. So I'm going to go ahead and click on slide 2 because I want the transition to appear between slides 1 and 2. So when I do this, it's going to appear right here. So I'm going to click on slide 2, go to the Transitions tab, and I'm going to go ahead and find that curtain transition that you should be very familiar with. They don't really want us to do anything with like the duration or the timing, so don't touch anything over here, but just in case the test question does want you to affect the duration, you can drop it or increase the duration right here. All right, now if I play my slides from slides 1 to 2, all right, I should see that curtain transition. All right. Add all slides from the CARS PowerPoint to the end of the presentation in order. All right, so let's scroll down to the very bottom of the presentation and click on slide 19. Because of this, if you look at the question, it says CARS PowerPoint. Because of that file extension being a PowerPoint presentation, we're actually going to use the command called reuse slides. So make sure in Teams, if you haven't already, go ahead and download all this stuff in Teams. I can close this out and get back to your attachments. You're going to see that there's a CARS PowerPoint in there right here. You need to download that. Go ahead and download the CAR outline as well, because you're going to need that as well. All right. So I'm going to go new slide, and I'm going to say reuse slides. And I'm going to go ahead and say browse, if it'll let me. There. I'm going to go ahead and say browse file. I'm going to navigate to my desktop because that's where I saved mine, and you're going to see CARS PowerPoint. You're going to notice that there's 3 slides over here. So in order for me to add them in order, I'm going to click once on CARS, once on foreign car company, and once on my favorite car. And now I have a total of 22 slides in my presentation, and so should you. All right, and if you scroll down, you'll see the slides that we just inserted. There's nothing on them really, just a heading. All right, so let's move on. Remove document properties and personal information. All right, so this is whenever you hear the word properties, I want you to think of the File tab. All right, if you're adding properties, you're going to go over here, and you're going to add properties to either the status or maybe the subject over here. But if you're removing properties, you want to go ahead and say check for issues and inspect document. And just say yes to the pop-up window that comes up. Don't ever uncheck anything here. Just click on inspect. And then you'll notice document properties and personal information have a little remove all button right beside it, and go ahead and click that. Only that one, and then click close. Sometimes I have seen the test questions want you to remove other things, so make sure you read the question very carefully. This is just a practice presentation, all right? And let's move on. It says apply the droplet theme to the slide master, all right? So I'm gonna go View tab, Slide Master, and I'm actually gonna scroll all the way up because it does say to apply the droplet theme to the slide master, and this is the slide master. And your themes are right here. If you hover over these things, you're gonna see one called droplet, and this is droplet right here. It changes every slide in my presentation, and then I'm gonna go ahead and click close. All right, now every slide has been changed in my presentation. It says group the 4 pictures on slide 8. All right, group the 4 pictures on slide 8. I don't know what the 4 pictures are, but let's go ahead and scroll up. All right, so I'm gonna use the control key. I'm gonna click on access. I'm gonna use control and click on Word, and then PowerPoint, and then Excel. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Picture Tools Format, and I'm gonna go over here to the right, and I'm gonna say group. And now all those pictures have become one picture that I can kind of scoot around my slide. All right, not difficult. Change the colors of the SmartArt graphic on slide 17 to colorful range accent 4 to 5. So on slide 17, here's our piece of SmartArt, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to go up to SmartArt Design tab, and right in the middle I'm going to see change colors, and sometimes it's kind of scrolled down here, so you might not see the colorful range. So go ahead and scroll all the way up, and they want us to use colorful range 4 to 5, which is this one right here. It's 4 to 5, right? Yeah, 4 to 5. All right, and that's it for that question. That's an easy one. Just in case they want you to do something with the shapes in SmartArt, always click on the little arrow here to open up the bulleted list on the side. And if you want to add a shape, press Enter. If you ever want to delete a shape, go ahead and press Backspace. All right, and SmartArt is pretty easy. If you want to add a shape to another shape, press Tab. So if I want to put this shape like under the Certiport releasing thing, I can go ahead and click right here and press Tab. And notice how now all the text is underneath the Certiport has begun releasing MOS exams. And to undo that, I'm going to press Shift Tab. All right. Let's move on. On slide 9, animate the text so that the first line wipes from the top immediately when the slide is shown, and each subsequent line wipes from the top 1 second after the previous line. All right. So on slide 9, Here's a list right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the top bullet, and I'm going to go to the Animations tab. I'm going to go ahead and apply the wipe animation, and because it says immediately when the slide is shown, oh, it also says from the top. So do the effect options from the top. And it says immediately when the slide is shown, which is a timing thing. So I'm going to say with previous. So as soon as the slide comes in, this is going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and select all the other bullets, apply the wipe animation, do the effect option from the top, and then my timing is going to be after previous. And go ahead and play this. And make sure that the first line comes in. Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot the 1 second delay. If you read the question, and it is a long question, it says each subsequent line wipes from the top 1 second after the previous line, which is a delay thing. So you want to say delay, and you want to go ahead and hit 1 second to all of the animations. And now let's play it. Much better. All right, I'm not going to sit through the whole thing. On slide 12, add a 3D clustered bar chart that shows the majors as the categories and current enrollment as the series. Use the data from the table to populate the chart. All right, so we're going to go to slide 12, and we're going to add a 3D clustered insert chart. Let me read that question again. We're going to add a 3D clustered bar chart. All right. So we're going to go to bar, and we're going to go over here to 3D clustered bar chart, and I'm going to click OK. When I click OK and I insert a chart into PowerPoint, I get a little Excel window here that allows me to enter the data. All right. And it says it wants us to use the data that's already in the table on the slide. So if you kind of scoot this chart or just kind of shrink it for a minute so that we can see the blue table here, it says the majors as the categories, and you can see category 1, 2, 3, and you can see the current enrollment is 20, 50, 70. All right, and it wants the current enrollment as the series. So what I'm going to do here is go to category 1, and I'm going to go ahead and type in PowerPoint. I'm going to go to category 2, and I'm going to type in Word, and then category 3, and I'm going to type in Excel. Whoops. Category 3, and I'm going to type in Excel. And for the series, I'm going to type in 20, 50, and then 70. Now, the rest of this stuff, I'm not going to delete it, but I'm going to hover my mouse over the corner of the blue box, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it over because I don't need series 2 or 3, and I also don't need category 4, so I'm going to grab it and I'm going to pull it up. And once I'm done with that, I can go ahead and close out my Excel spreadsheet window that popped up, and now this is kind of what it should look like. Excel is at 70, Word is at 50, and PowerPoint is at 20. All right, and that's a hard question, but you'll get it. Just practice that. Add a linear gradient down fill to the body placeholder of the Notes Master. All right, so Notes Master is under the View tab, and you're going to see it right here. The body placeholder of the Notes Master is right here. So I'm going to click inside of it and then click on the border of the actual Notes Master. I'm going to go up here to Drawing Tools Format, and you'll notice here that I have something under Shape Fill, and under Gradient I have something called Linear Down. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and use that Linear Down under the Light Variation. All right, and then I'm going to go to Notes Master, and I'm going to close it out. All right. On slide 7, resize the 6-pointed star so that it's twice as large. The height and the width of the shape should remain proportional. All right, and that's called lock aspect ratio. So on slide 7, let's find this star. On slide 7, we do have a star. I'm going to go ahead and click on it and click on Drawing Tools Format. And instead of me trying to do the math in my head and trying to figure out how to double 192 and 258, I'm going to open up the size panel over here. And I'm going to have to pop my presentation out a little bit so we can see it. And notice over here, I have scale height and scale width at 100% each. I'm going to say lock aspect ratio over here, and I'm just going to take one of them up to 200. It says it wants us to double the height and the width. So type it into 1, and then it'll also affect the other one. And this is our new star right here. All right, and we have just doubled the size of it. So whatever the size is over here, just go to the percentage and go ahead and double it. And that's the easiest way to tackle that question. Save the presentation to the Documents folder as an XPS file named Presentation. All right, so I'm going to go to the File tab, and I'm going to hit Save As. I'm going to click on Browse, and right here, I'm going to say XPS Document, where it says Save As Type. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and rename it. I've already forgotten. Called Presentation. All right, so type in the word Presentation. And then just make sure you click on the Geometrics Templates folder. I don't have one here because this is my personal computer. So once you do save it, I'll go ahead and put mine on my desktop. You're going to get a pop-up window that you're just going to close right out. And then you can go back on your presentation once you close it out. All right, so here's my pop-up window. I can grab it on with the taskbar right here and go ahead and click the X. All right, we're almost done with part 1 here. Add an orange 18-point glow, accent color 3 glow effect, and 5-point soft edge to the picture on slide 7. All right, so on slide 7, this picture right here, I'm going to click on the picture so that I get Picture Tools format. And I'm going to go to Picture Effects and go to Glow. It says it wants an orange 18-point glow, accent color, I think it says 3. It should say accent color 3 glow effect. I don't think there is a 3, so we might just use the 4. So I'm going to say glow, orange 18-point, accent color 5. Accent color 4. Yeah, I'm going to use accent color 4. All right, and then it says it wants a soft edge effect, a soft edge of 5 points. So I'm going to go back under Picture Effects, and I'm going to go to Soft Edges, and I'm going to go to 5 points. All right, and that's how that should look right there. On slide 5, add the hyperlink humongousInsurance.com/travel to the text exam format. So we're going to go to slide 5, and let me shrink this picture down a little bit so it's not taking up most of it. And right here is the text, I guess, that it wants us to use, and I'm just going to right click on it, and I'm going to say hyperlink. I'm not even going to try to spell this, and I don't want you to either. Humongous is like the #1 reason why people miss this question. So I'm just going to copy and paste it directly from the question, and so can you. If you hit Control-C and Control-V. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And that's the end of that one. That's number 15. It says configure the slideshow to be browsed by an individual and advance slides manually. All right, so that's under the Slideshow tab. And under Setup Slideshow, you're going to see Browse by Individual. And then over here, you're going to see Advance Slides Manually. All right. And then click OK. And that's the end of number 16. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause this and create a part 1 and part 2 of this video presentation. And we will go ahead and pick it up with number 17 in part 2. We still have quite a bit to go.